Hey, what's up everyone, it's your girl Brain Shanae, and today I want to share with you my March book haul, so please stay tuned. And I am back, and also if you're new to my channel, welcome. So like I said before previously, I want to share with you all the books that I pretty much gotten in March alone. So let's go ahead and get started with the first book. Now this book I had gotten because Corey from Corey's Corner on Instagram, she was pretty much expressing her emotions and her feelings about this book, and I was like, okay, I gotta read it for myself so I can know more about Benny and Esther, and that is The Songbook of Benny and Lament by Amy Harmon. First off, Corey pretty much sold me when she was pretty much telling me about this book, and I'm like, okay, I really got to read this for myself. And also the cover pretty much intrigued me into getting it. So here is the cover right here, and I'll read the synopsis. So it says, their music will change the world. New York, 1960, for Benny Lament, music is his entire life. With his father's deep ties to the mob, the Bronx piano man has learned that love and family can get you in trouble. So he keeps to himself, writing songs for other musicians, avoiding the spotlight until the night his father brings him to see Esther Mine sing. Esther is a petite powerhouse with a gorgeous voice, and when Benny writes a hit song and performs it with her, their collaboration thrusts the duo onto the national stage and stirs up old issues and new scrutiny that the mob and Benny would rather avoid. It would be easier to walk away, but the music and the woman are too hard for the piano man to resist. Benny's songs and Esther's vocals are an explosive combination, a sound that fans can't get enough of. But though America might love the music they make together, some people aren't ready for Benny Lament and Esther Mine on or off the stage. So this is a romance, of course, and this is an interracial romance as well, which I'm all for that, you know, love it. But yeah, I really look forward to reading this, and it just sounds very interesting. It sounds something up my alley, especially when it comes to music, Benny Lament. I just think that's pretty cool. And then it also talks about the mob too. So with all those combinations going on, I have a feeling this is going to be a great read for me. So I'd gotten this. Next book I had gotten from Wednesday's Books, which I cannot wait to read this. And this comes out in May of this year. And that is by Asha Bromfield, Hurricane Summer. This is her debut book, and I'm so excited to read this. She was in the TV series Riverdale, and I think she was like one of the members of the Pussycat Dolls, like in the band. And pretty much I didn't even know it was her particularly that wrote this book. I just was pretty much intrigued by the cover itself. And it just looks beautiful, especially with her in the rain, with her flower right next to her ear. It just looks amazing. But let me read this synopsis as well. And pretty much what I'll be doing is reading synopsis for majority of these books. That way, if you are intrigued at any of these books I had gotten in March, you can go ahead and get yourself a copy. So it says, Tilla has spent her entire life trying to make her father love her. But every 6 months, he leaves their family and returns to his true home, the island of Jamaica. When Tilla's mother tells her she'll be spending the summer on the island, Tilla dreads the idea of seeing him again, but longs to discover what life in Jamaica has always held for him. In an unexpected turn of events, Tilla is forced to face the storm that unravels in her own life as she learns about the dark secrets that lie beyond the veil of paradise, all in the midst of an impending hurricane. And it also says a powerful coming-of-age story that deals with colorism, classism, young love, the father-daughter dynamic, and what it means to discover your own voice in the center of complete destruction. So I feel like this is going to be a deep book, especially with the father-daughter dynamic. You know, a lot of us don't know our fathers. A lot of us knows our fathers. A lot of us, their father is like their best friend. So I feel like with this, I like that with father-daughter dynamic. I also like the talk of colorism because that topic is very important. I feel like that has been spoken about throughout BookTube for many, many years, but we still bring it up because it's still an issue to this day. We talk about classism, young love, which I'm definitely all for. So definitely excited to read this, but like I said, this comes out in May, you guys, so you can go ahead and, you know, go ahead and pre-order it if you must. But yeah, so I got this book. Next book that I'm looking forward to read, I'm definitely going to be reading it this year for sure, because this is one of my anticipated reads of this year, and that is Accidentally Engaged by Farrah Heron. It just says, even this fake engagement, foolproof or half-baked, right there, which is the blurb right there. And then on the back it says, all's fair in love and baking, which of course it has a lot to do with baking in this book, which I do like. So it says, when it comes to bread, Rena Maji knows exactly what she's doing. She treats her sourdough starters like somewhat unruly children. But when it comes to Rena's actual family and their constant meddling in her life, well, that recipe always ends in disaster. Now, Rena's parents have found her yet another potential good Muslim husband. This one has the body of Captain America, a delicious British accent, and lives right across the hall. He's the perfect mouth-watering temptation and completely ruined by the unwelcome side dish of parental interference. Rena refuses to marry anyone who works for her father. She won't be attracted to Nadim's sweet charm or gorgeous lopsided smile. That is, until the baking opportunity of a lifetime presents itself, a couple's cooking competition with the prize of her dreams. Rena will do anything to win, even asking Nadim to pretend they're engaged. But when it comes to love, baking your bread doesn't always mean you get to eat it too. So yeah, so just with like baking your bread doesn't mean you can get like from this what it says, when it comes to love, baking your bread doesn't always mean you don't get to eat it too. So I feel like with Rena, I feel like she's gonna have to decide between the two. Which love is like that. You have to decide from if you want this or if you want that. You can't have everything that you want, you know. That's not life, you know. Life is not fair, but that's life for you. But I'm definitely looking forward to reading this. It's so cute, and I do love the cover so much with the little ring. You have Rena right there, you have Nadim right here. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading this and getting more into finding and knowing more about these characters. But yeah, I got this book. Next book I had gotten because they changed the covers on me, but it's all good, and that is A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy. This is the first book of the duology, which I read in 2019 because that's when it came out. But they decided to change the covers. Now, I think recently I showed you the original cover of the other book, which I cannot find right now. But it's completely different, which it's okay, I get it. But I wish this came into like a hard copy so it would match the second book that just came out in March as well. So I wanted to match pretty much. I love the original cover, but you know, it is what it is. They change covers on us. What can we do? They want our money, you know, especially as book readers. So I got this book. And so it says, 16-year-old Ava is a princess, born with the magic of blood and marrow, a dark and terrible magic that hasn't been seen for generations. Its last known practitioner was Queen Rena, who used her power to massacre thousands, including her own sister, thus beginning the rival heir tradition. Living in Rena's long and dark shadow, Ava must now face her older sister, Issa, on her 17th name day in a battle to the death if she hopes to ascend to the ivory throne, because in the Queendom of Myre, only the strongest, most ruthless ruler survives. Ava doesn't yet understand her own power, let alone know how to use it, but when an assassin makes an attempt on her life and the fight with her sister looms ever closer, Ava finally turns to a powerful fae instructor and a mysterious and handsome prince for help in growing her magic into something to fear. Because despite the love she still has for her sister, Ava will have to choose Issa's life or her own. The first installment in a royal fantasy duology, A River of Royal Blood, is an enthralling debut set in a lush, ancient North African-inspired world full of spellbinding romance, magic, and adventure. So yeah, I love this book so much. I even rated it 5 out of 5 stars because it was that good. So I had to get this copy, and of course, this is the second and final book of the duology, and that is The Queen of Gilded Horns by Amanda Joy right here, and the cover is beautiful as well. So like I said, it matches, you know, how to get the matching covers, and look at that. Woo, ta-da! So it makes sense why they have it all together. See? Yep. So these are the two sisters facing off pretty much, in a way. I believe that's how they wanted it to look like. So yeah, the two sisters face off. You have Issa, and of course you have the other sister, Eva. So yeah, but I'm definitely looking forward to reading this. I'm going to be sad when, this is over, but Amanda Joy's work is so good. So for this one, it says, at the end of A River Royal Blood, the battle royale for the Ivory Throne between Princess Ava and her sister Issa is brought to an abrupt halt when Ava discovers who she really is. Now she's determined to know why the truth was kept from her. She flees to her father's childhood home in hopes of finding family who can explain all her father didn't get a chance to before he was murdered. She's also on the hunt for her mentor, Basha, who disappeared when she needed him the most. Though she spared Issa's life for now, Ava still has her eye on the Ivory Throne and a wish to unite the people of Myre. But she'll need Basha's help to understand her Burgundian music. Oh Lord, I can't talk right now. Burgundian magic as she decides Issa's fate once and for all. With the queendom on the brink of revolution, Ava, with the handsome Akito and her unremorseful murderous sister in tow, makes the treacherous journey north, looking for allies at the enclosures, little more than prisons for Akito's people, to help in taking a last stand against her mother, who she's sure is already hunting her. Ava's convinced that, to finally bring peace to Myre, she and her sister must make peace first, but Issa refuses to give up the fight. In the thrilling conclusion to this royal fantasy duology, Amanda Joy once again weaves a spellbinding and richly told narrative full of romance, magic, and adventure. So yes, this says praise for River of Royal Blood, a River of Royal Blood on the back of it. But yes, I'm definitely looking forward to reading this and figuring out what happens at the end, who dies, who lives, who has a happily ever after romance. But yeah, so I got this book as well. Next one, this is a comic, and this is the second one that I had read earlier in March, and that is Shuri. This is the 24/7 Vibranium, and this is written by Nadia Corafor and Vita Ayala, and it illustrated by Rachel Stott and Paul Davidson. So I read the first one and I fell in love with it. So I want to continue on reading more about Shuri and her adventures and everything, as her brother is still missing from Wakanda. So it says, Shuri faces her destiny. With T'Challa gone and Wakanda in peril, the Black Panther is needed, and Shuri must step up to fill the void. But she's about to face a threat unlike any her home has seen before. Shuri heads to America to investigate a lead, but she's not the only hero on the case. With New York City and New Jersey in danger as well, there's no way Miles, Spider-Man Morales, and Kamala, Miss Marvel Khan, are sitting this one out. And with her people in peril, Shuri takes up the Black Panther mantle once again. But this is a Panther you've never seen before, one who will change Wakanda forever. Prepare for a high-tech, star-studded adventure as only Shuri can serve up. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading this. I feel like, especially since Chadwick had passed away last year, and they pretty much didn't want to have somebody replace him as Black Panther. I think this is the approach they might do for the next Black Panther, and have Shuri become the Black Panther, and we get to still see Storm and all the other Marvel characters and everything like that, especially since Storm is technically T'Challa's girlfriend, and Storm is actually Egyptian, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, so we get to more in depth with Shuri, which I think will be a good thing, because I do, R.I.P. Chadwick, rest in power, bro, because, like, you changed the game for us, and I feel like that movie Black Panther, it had uplifted us so much. But yes, I'm definitely looking forward to reading this about Shuri, and more to come of what's happening with Wakanda. So I got this one. Next book I keep hearing a lot of great things about, and this is like a series. I think 3 books is going to be in the series. So I wanted to go ahead and read it before the next book came out. So that is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I've heard a lot of great things about this book, especially from Beautifully Bookish Bethany. She did a review about this book. I think she read it last year and she really loved it, and I was like, okay, I gotta read this for myself. And with this book, it is also sci-fi, which I haven't read any sci-fi for a while now, and I need to get back into that groove of reading sci-fi books. So with this one, it says, book 1 of the Between Earth and Sky trilogy, inspired by the civilizations of the pre-Columbian Americas and woven into a tale of celestial prophecies, political intrigue, and forbidden magic. It says a god will return when the earth and sky converge under the black sun. It says, in the holy city of Tova, the winter solstice is usually a time for celebration and renewal, but this year it coincides with a solar eclipse, a rare celestial event prescribed by the sun prince as sun priest as an unbalancing of the world. Meanwhile, a ship launches from a distant city bound for Tova and set to arrive on the solstice. The captain of the ship, Zoala, is a disgraced teak whose song can calm the waters around her as easily as it can warp a man's mind. Her ship carries 1 passenger, described as harmless. The passenger, Seropio, is a young man, blind and scared, and cloaked in destiny. As Yala well knows, when a man is described as harmless, he usually ends up being a villain. Crafted with unforgettable characters, Rebecca Roanhorse's epic adventure exploring the decadence of power amidst the weight of history and the struggle of individuals swimming against the confines of society and their broken past is the most original series debut of the decade. So definitely looking forward to reading this. And also it has like a beautiful, beautiful map, which I'm all for. It gives me a good visual of what I'm reading and the world itself, which I do love that. I can like, oh, so this is what the world looks like. Okay, cool. So yeah, so I'm planning on reading this rather like really soon because like I said, I keep hearing a lot of great things about it and I want to read it for myself and get my own opinion. I might even do my own individual review about this book as well. So I have The Black Sun right here. Next book, this came out, I have pre-ordered this. This came out earlier in March. I haven't heard a lot of things about it on BookTube yet, but that is Sing Me Forgotten by Jessica S. Alston. And the cover is beautiful, of course. Just look at that. It looks amazing. It's like a potions bottle or whatever. It says enchanting, lush, and decadent. And that's said by Adeline Grace, author of All Stars and Teeth. But the cover is amazing. And I definitely want to read this. And even on the back it says, they think they can keep me here, that the darkness will break me. They forget I was raised in the darkness, that I've been imprisoned my whole life. They can threaten me with blade or poison or death, but they cannot make me afraid, not anymore. So in the synopsis it says, Ista does not exist, at least not beyond the opulent walls of the opera house. And that's also what intrigued me. It's about the opera house, which I'm thinking like Phantom of the Opera type of vibes. So it says, cast into a well at birth for being one of the magical few who can manipulate memories when people sing, she was saved by Cyril, the opera house's owner. Since that day, he has given her sanctuary from the murderous world outside. All he asks in return is that she use her power to keep ticket sales high, and that she stay out of sight. For if anyone discovers she survived, Ista and Cyril would pay with their lives. But Ista breaks Cyril's cardinal rule when she meets Emeric Roden, a charming boy who throws her quiet, solitary life out of balance. His voice is unlike any she's ever heard, but the real shock comes when she finds in his memories hints of a way to finally break free of her gilded prison. Hunted by this possibility, Ista spends more and more time with Emeric, searching for answers in his music and his past. But the price of freedom is steeper than Ista could ever know. For even as she struggles with her growing feelings for Emeric, she learns that in order to take charge of her own destiny, she must become the monster the world tried to drown in the first place. So that's pretty deep, you know, like she literally, somebody was trying to kill her at birth. So that's crazy. So I definitely want to read this really soon. I definitely might do my own, like I said, another review for this book as well, because it's very interesting. And it even says like here, Destruction is a music all its own. And on top of that, it's like opera, like Phantom of the Opera type of vibes, you know, and so to speak, because she's still hidden, that she's only supposed to do this and this, to pretty much to stay at the opera house. So it pretty much reminds me of that type of thing. So definitely looking forward to reading this. Next 2 books I was thinking about reading together because they have similarities. We have A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow, and we have The Deep by River Solomons with David Diggs, William Hudson, and Jonathan Snipes. I was thinking about doing something where I'd like for a month read books that are like has mythical creatures. So I was thinking about doing that. Let me know down in the comments if you think I should, or is that a good idea. But yeah, I'm thinking sometime this year, one of the months, maybe June or July, where I dedicate on reading books that are about mythical creatures. So you have mermaids. I'm thinking about maybe dragons to be another one. and some other ones that I'm trying to think of as mythical creatures, maybe like vampires. I might do that as well. So yeah, so pretty much a month where I dedicate reading about mythical creatures. So this is Bethany C. Morrow's debut book. I plan on reading this. I heard mixed reviews about this book, but I definitely want to get into it really soon. So I got this book. And then I had this book. Now, it was very difficult to find the hardcover. Like on Amazon, it's sold out. They only have the paperback, but I went to Barnes and Nobles and they were able to get me the hardcover edition, because I do like this cover better than the paperback. And I keep hearing like mixed reviews about this book. Some people say they can't get into it. It's just really difficult to read. You might have to read it a few times to get a better understanding, which I have no problem of doing. So I want to get my own opinion about this book, and then I probably might do my own review or do a book review on both of these books together, so I can share with you my opinions and my thoughts and concerns or comments or what have you. So I got these two books, which I'm so excited to do as far as maybe in June or July for the mythical creatures read. Then I got this from a giveaway on Instagram. It says, Dear Black Girls. This is by Tamara Winfrey Harris. It's the best-selling author of The Sisters Are All Right. And these are collections of letters from women all over. It says letters from sisters on stepping into your power. So it breaks down everything like that. It says, Dear #dope black girl, you don't know me, but I know you. I know you because I am you. We are magic, light, and stars in the universe. So it says, so begins a letter that Tamara Winfrey Harris received as part of her Letters to Black Girls project, where she asked Black women to write honest, open, and inspiring letters of support to young Black girls aged 13 to 21. Her call went viral, resulting in 100 personal letters from Black women around the globe that covers topics like identity, self-love, parents, violence, grief, mental health, sex, and sexuality. So it says, in Dear Black Girl, Winfrey Harris organizes a selection of these letters, providing a balm for the wounds of anti-Black girlness and modeling how Black women can nurture future generations. Each chapter ends with a prompt encouraging girls to write a letter to themselves, teaching the art of self-love and self-nurturing. So yeah, I definitely, what I plan on doing is each month read a couple of letters from these beautiful young women, young Black women, and go from there. So I'm so excited that, I'm glad that I was able to win this. I was not sure if I was going to win the giveaway or not, but I did. And I'm so excited to finally dig in and to read all these letters from these amazing young women. So yeah, have this. And lastly, I got this book. It's people are talking about this all over BookTube and Instagram, and I wanted to read it for myself. And that is Firekeepers' Daughter, and it says, keep the secret, live the lie, earn your truth. And that is by Angeline Woolley. And just the cover alone is enticing. It's beautiful and I love it. But I wanted to get more into it and learn more about the characters of this book. So let me read the synopsis. So it says, 18-year-old Denise Fontaine has never quite fit in, both in her hometown and on the nearby Ojibwe reservation. She dreams of a fresh start at college, but when family tragedy strikes, Denise puts her future on hold to look after her fragile mother. The only bright spot in meeting Jamie, the charming new recruit on her brother Levi's hockey team. Yet, even as Denise falls for Jamie, she senses the dashing hockey star is hiding something. Everything comes to light when Denise witnesses a shocking murder, thrusting her into an FBI investigation of a lethal new drug. Reluctantly, Denise agrees to go undercover, drawing on her knowledge of chemistry and Ojibwe traditional medicine to track down the source. But the search for truth is more complicated than Denise imagined, exposing secrets and old scars. At the same time, she grows concerned with an investigation that seems more focused on punishing the offenders than protecting the victims. Now, as the deceptions and deaths keep growing, Denise must learn what it means to be a strong Anawasibwe Kawe, which is a Ojibwe woman. Hopefully I'm pronouncing this right, I'm sorry. And how far she'll go for her community, even if it tears apart the only world she's ever known. And it says, Firekeepers' Daughter is an electrifying thriller layered with a rich exploration of the modern Native experience, a reckoning of current and historical injustices, and a powerful celebration of community. And then even on the back it says, prayers begin with offering Selma and sharing my spirit name, clan, and where I am from. I always add an extra name to make sure creator knows who I am, a name that connects me to my father because I began as a secret and then a scandal. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to reading this. It's like about like especially about the reservation, Native American reservations, stuff like that, what has been happening, all the injustices that has been happening when it comes to their reservations and the people. I find that very fascinating, and I just feel like this would be a good read for me. But that is it, you guys. Those are all the books that I had got in March. They're I need to stop doing this to myself. I really do, because I'm like, the more I get more and more books, I really need to read the books that I have, that I already own, but it's just so difficult. It's so difficult, you guys, like, so hard. But yeah, I'm trying to read all these books too. So these are all the books I had gotten in March. It was a lot of them. Like I said, I really need to stop. I need to stop myself somehow, some shape or form. I need to try to figure out what to do with my little spending. I need to do a new book buying ban, which it never seems to work, but I'm gonna try. But that is it, you guys. Those are all the books that I got in March. I really hope you enjoyed this video and this book haul. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified when I upload more videos in the future. But thank you so much for watching, you guys, and please stay healthy and stay safe. See ya.